Chosen ones, you have always been different from others. There have been those who do not understand you, those who take many forms to reach your bright light. But true energy is felt not through flashy gestures, but through a deep spiritual attraction. They may face dazzling opportunities in crowds, the attention of enthusiastic admirers. But you mean something beyond false excitement, beyond superficial desires. For them, physical attraction is only a reflection, but you are like an echo, an unforgettable imprint that lingers in their minds. As the chosen ones, watch those who compete to seduce you. Dazzling gestures, loud proclamations. But for them, all these games are empty, meaningless. The real attraction is not the loudest, but the most deeply felt. And that's why, no matter how many options they have, none of them matter. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and spread the word to those who need it. You have won, you have been chosen, and the glory is your destiny. Your quest to discover your destiny is just beginning. Their conversations with others feel dull, meaningless, because their minds, their souls are elsewhere. The more they think of you, the more and more everything loses its meaning. The charms and games of the outside world now seem just a habit, a formality. But you are the silent echo that touches their souls. That is why they may be everywhere, but their minds, hearts and souls are stuck in one place only. Their games are not played by you. You are the only one who stands out in the midst of a sea of distractions, even though you simply exist. On paper, this makes no sense. They should be moving forward, basking in the attention and easy approval of those who are ready to do anything for them. However, everything seems like noise. They convince themselves that it is a temporary idea, and that something simpler and safer will eventually take its place. However, it doesn't. The change is noticed by those close to them. Their friends make fun of them, pointing out how indifferent they are to the people who throw themselves at their feet. They have an ideal person in front of them, providing a connection that should make sense, but doesn't. If your heart is overflowing with God's blessings, now is the time to let your love shine. When you click on the Super Thank button and donate $50 or more, you will be doing much more than helping our platform. Many lives will be impacted by the seeds of faith you plant. God's richness is reflected in your generosity, a gift that resonates beyond your physical senses. Be a channel for His grace and live your destiny. Give with confidence and see His kingdom grow through you. You are made for more. They grin, respond, and interact, but their thoughts continue to wander. Since they already know deep down that they never intended to see anyone, their souls object. You're supposed to be seen by them. You had that unbreakable moment when someone looked at you with more than their eyes. It was them. This was unexpected. They were not looking for it. Add the number 77 to your message to energize the universe and align your intentions with the flow of divine abundance. But something changed in them the moment they saw you, like a memory coming back to them from a life they couldn't remember. A quiet trust surrounded by a feeling they couldn't describe. This was not the kind of attraction they had experienced before. Not a gradual flare-up, not a rational decision, not a temporary frenzy. This was different, instantaneous, unwavering, as if they had been searching for you their whole lives without even realizing it. They tried to ignore it and come up with an explanation. Perhaps it was your demeanor, your speech, or the fact that you had a presence that attracted attention in a way they couldn't understand without begging. However, it was something beyond that. Experience what it is really like to be chosen. You are not alone on this journey. If you believe in your heart that you have been chosen, you are in the perfect spot. By choosing to join, you can further your relationship with us, access exclusive information, and get the help you need on your spiritual journey. It's not just about joining a group. It's about gaining access to special insights that can change your life and help you get closer to your divine purpose. Make your decision now and join us on this journey. Claim your right to be one of the chosen ones. Sign up today. It is impossible to ignore the power you have. It was much more than your voice, or your looks, or your enthusiasm. It was an affirmation. Their hearts were aware of something their minds could not grasp. The feeling that they had finally discovered something they had not been looking for. Their familiarity with you, the unspoken understanding. You saw it too, not in what they said, but in the way they paused before speaking, in the way their facial expressions fluctuated between doubt and interest, and their energy was drawn towards you without them even realizing it. They did not look for this feeling, it found them. There is a Persian proverb that says, "What is for you does not pass you by." You saw the strange timings, the incredibly complex patterns, and the reality bending in unimaginable ways, and yet it continues to happen. They make an effort to ignore it and act rationally, but how do you explain the times when rationality doesn't work? They freeze when you speak because you have said the exact words that are bothering them. When they pick up their phone to text you, they discover that your message is already there. When they are deep in meditation, music starts playing that makes them think of you, as if the universe is listening to their desires. And then, there is the inexplicable. The places you both went years before you met. The strange coincidences in your past that are so special. The fact that your paths are destined to meet in billions of worlds. They convince themselves that this is nothing, that they are overanalyzing and that these times are arbitrary. The cosmos is shouting at them, matching events, weaving threads, and making them see the truth that was written long before either of you understood it. But deep down, they know that it's not just nudging them. It is not an accident, it is a confirmation. Moreover, some connections are too certain to be coincidence. So no matter how much individuals try to ignore them, the indicators will continue to show up. By entering the 88, you can assert your heavenly protection, and in the mighty name of Jesus, no weapon shall stand in your way. You are not there. They are aware of it. That's what they tell themselves. So why do they still sense you? Uninvited, your name stays in their minds, on the periphery of their consciousness, a faint murmur interrupting them when they least expect it. As they go about their day, navigating between conversations, tasks, and distractions, that unshakable attraction towards you reappears, an inexplicable restlessness and a sudden urge to check their phone. They ask how you are, and then, somewhere, you let out your breath, feeling as if a thought has been sent your way. Without understanding why, their eyes move involuntarily as they scan the crowd. Even if they don't expect to see you, they are looking. And when they don't find you, they feel a hollow ache, like something waiting, like something missing. The important thing is not to be there. Presence is corporeal, and this is something else. Therefore, it has never been. A connection that goes on even when you are not in the same place. A connection that transcends distances. From time to time, they claim to feel your energy, as if an invisible thread is tightening around their ribs, or a warmth is being pushed into their personal space. This has never happened to them before. No one who has not tried to make contact with them has ever bothered them. You are unique. What scared them the most is that you never had to be there to be felt. They believed they had already experienced love. They were in sensible relationships that met all the requirements. Are they compatible? Verify it. Do they have common goals? Verify. Consistency? Verify. Everything looked perfect on paper, but that's all it was. Something logical. Nothing that touched them. Then you came. You broke the boundaries of what they believed love could be, not just conforming to their reality. They made an effort to examine, compare, and understand why you felt so differently. But they couldn't because their previous system was orderly, realistic, and controllable. And this, anarchy in the most exuberant sense. They didn't have to do much to convince themselves that you were the best option. They didn't have to balance the pros and cons. Compatibility didn't have to be forced. It was instantaneous. There is no denying the difference. Love used to look like a negotiation process involving compromise, adjustment, and agreement. They had to justify their feelings and convince themselves that it was enough. With you, they don't have to convince themselves, negotiate, or think. It just is. They feel it in their bones. Their soul instantly recognizes you. Their pulse quickens when they think of you. They used to believe that the purpose of love was to find a suitable partner. You have helped them realize that love is not about being good enough, but about being undeniable. Finding someone whose soul speaks the same language as yours, someone who perceives not only logic but also truth, is the goal. They never realized they were looking for the truth, but you are the truth. With never-ending demands, voices, and people vying for attention, their reality seems oppressive. It has always been like this. Like a never-ending storm, attention was pouring down on them in the form of praise, admiration, and longing looks. People reach out to them and try to make eye contact in order to be chosen. Words that mean nothing, smiles that don't speak to the soul, and conversations that fill the air, but never go deep, just noise. And then you don't go after them. You don't beg for attention. Even if you don't aim to impress people, you do it. Without trying, without intending to, without even trying. They are extremely restless about it. They are used to being hunted. They are used to others competing for their attention and going out of their way to keep it. You are not satisfied with the attention they get easily, and you are not interested in the games they have perfected. You are solid, concentrated, and impenetrable in your own world. That's why they can't stop thinking about you. The noise does not cover you. You are the calm in their midst, the peace they don't realize they seek. Surrounded by admirers, their thoughts turn to you. They miss your depth when they hear meaningless sentences. When someone tries to get their attention, they question why they never look the same. You are unique. They feel drawn to you, but you don't reach out to them. They want to hear your voice, but you don't fill the room with meaningless chatter. They fear the moment when you are not available, even if you are not waiting for them. Because of this fear, you are the person they cannot ignore. You have ruined them. You know it, but they won't say it. You saw the hesitation in their eyes and the change in their mood when you approached. They are holding back because they want you so much, not because they don't want you. They are afraid of this. They have always been the ones who set the rules, define the acceptable level of intimacy, and perfect the ability to control one's emotions. To them, love was something they could control and measure. Then you came along and suddenly nothing made sense. The same old argument they always used didn't work. The meticulous barriers they had built started to crumble. The emotional control they believed they had is gone. They are falling and falling fast. A fast, relentless, and all-consuming fall. They make an effort to resist, to justify, to convince themselves that they don't need you. But it is not about need. There is more to it than that. Their thoughts can't stop thinking about you. Their pulse quickens when they think of you. They are afraid of losing control. They are afraid of the unknown, because nothing in their past has prepared them for it. They are afraid to give up because doing so implies trust, and trust requires risk, and risk means they might lose you. However, when they try to walk away, something stronger always pulls them back. Something that goes beyond logic, fear, and all their previous defenses. The truth they don't want to accept is voiced by a small but unwavering voice inside them. This is not normal. This is not arbitrary. They cannot just leave this situation alone. What if this is too much, says fear. But their intuition wonders, what if this is everything? And they look at you. You have intervened in their lives. You have not just entered into it. They are evolving, even if they don't fully understand it yet. You are more than a passing fantasy, more than someone who catches their attention briefly before disappearing into the distance. You're a catalyst. That's what you are. Since they met you, they have started to doubt everything, including their ingrained routines, distractions, and meaningless conversations. They don't feel the same way anymore. Everything seems empty, including the people they used to hang out with, the connections they used to have, and the activities they used to pursue. They are now more careful, conscious, and discriminating. They used to entertain people who drained them, let everyone into their energy, and maintain relationships that seemed safe but never fulfilled them. Now they pause. They now defend their own space. They now realize that not everyone should have access to them. They cannot go back to their old selves. Not because you begged them to, not because you told them to, because your presence changes their perspective. They are now longing for depth. They are thirsting for something genuine, and they are looking for something bigger than the superficial pastimes they were once drowning in because of you. They discover an interest in spirituality, self-analysis, and healing. They are asking questions they have never asked before, such as, who am I really? What am I searching for? What is my soul trying to tell me? You have not only made them feel something, you have made them see something. This is something they cannot ignore. This attraction is much more than romantic. It goes beyond simple chemistry. It is change. Thanks to you, they will never be the same again. Something is changing inside them. This change is indisputable, but they are not sure when it started. Everything looks different today, including the people they used to entertain, the arguments they used to have, and the attention they used to crave. Empty, forced, shallow. When they wake up, they don't decide to cut people off. Instead, it unfolds slowly, like a slow dissolution. They start to drift away without really understanding. Nobody answers messages. Invitations seem like a duty. The endless cacophony of social contacts that used to nourish them has now exhausted them. Because of you, they can no longer ignore this feeling. You are not competing for their attention. You are not one of their distractions. As a result, they realize that they are wasting time on things that don't feed their soul. The approval they used to get from other people is no longer satisfying. Informal discussions seem contrived. They no longer feel connected to people who used to have access to them. Unconsciously, automatically, they scan their surroundings, as if their soul is aware of what their mind has not yet accepted. They no longer fit into their previous lives. And maybe, just maybe, it is because they are drawn to something deeper, something concrete, something unquestionable. They are still not sure how to respond to this insight. They don't know everything. Yet they are aware of one thing. They will never be the person they were before you. They are uneasy because you are different from anyone they have ever met. Not because you are loud, or demanding, or chasing after them like the others, but because you are not chasing after them at all. You don't wait. You don't lurk and wait for others to see your value. You don't measure your progress by their actions, words, or preferences. They sense that you are thriving, successful, and alive. They are attracted to your vitality, your mission, and your indisputable presence. Even when you are not trying to impress them, they cannot help but admire you. Even when you are not trying to make them desire you, they cannot resist the pull of your presence. You dominate the space. You just don't live in it. That is why they are restless. They are used to being the center of attention of others who diminish them, who wait, who hope, who shape their lives around them. You are not shrinking. You are growing. You are following your own path. You are changing by reaching beyond them. You are growing spiritually, not for them, not because of them, but for yourself. You don't need them. So you are the thing they are most afraid of losing. That is the difference. That is the power. You don't need somebody to make you whole. You immediately feel whole. They are completely bewildered by this knowledge because, for the first time, they are facing something unusual. someone they want fervently, but who doesn't need them. The goal of love has never been fulfillment. Inspiration has always been the key. Now they want to be better because of you. They are making an effort to oppose you. They have convinced themselves that this is nothing more than curiosity, attraction, and another temporary connection in a life full of so many names, faces, and moments that need to fade away and blend together. But you don't get lost. You linger in the quiet times, in the spaces between their ideas, in the emptiness that seems not to be filled by anything else. They make an effort to resist this. They tell themselves that it is illogical, that there is no justification for you to have so much influence over their thoughts and feelings. They try to ignore it. They remind themselves of the facts and the logic, and the reasons why it shouldn't matter. They think about everything else that should take priority and everything else they can focus on. They make an effort to move on. But no matter how far they go, no matter how many distractions they surround themselves with, no matter how hard they try to tell themselves that it's just a passing thought, your presence remains unmoved and unshaken, like a shadow they cannot escape, like an ongoing melody, like a whisper woven into the fabric of their lives. Their intellect tells them to be practical, logical, and guard against the unknown. Fear warns them to remain vigilant, to stay in control and not give in to something they cannot foresee or explain. However, like an echo etched into their being long before this lifetime, their soul, their spirit, softly but insistently repeats your name. They feel it, even if they do not understand it. They may be distracted for a while. They may act as if they don't care. They can convince themselves and perhaps the rest of the world that they are not affected. But deep down inside, they already know the truth. Some bonds are not meant to be ignored. The one thing they can never escape is you. They believed they had time. They believed that you, this bond, would wait, that they could resolve it at their own pace and ignore it until they were ready. But neither time nor you were static. They are now aware of their hesitation, of the time they let pass, and of the consequences of their decision that brought them to this point, that they are on the verge of something they can no longer ignore. The balance of power has shifted. They are the ones who are now hoping that they have not lost something priceless, that you still see them as they see you, and that their time is not running out. But what they have not yet realized is that you have changed. You are not the person they first met, the one who used to wonder, wait, question. You are no longer that person. You have grown up. You have evolved. You have risen beyond the space where you were standing before, looking at them, expecting them to see what was always in front of them. The question is not, will they choose you? Because you don't dwell on doubt, the question is, are you still interested in choosing them? You don't wait for someone else to determine your worth. You don't need the approval of a soul that is still confused about itself. You are the change, the lesson, and the metamorphosis. They are now feeling the weight of what they can lose as they look to the future. You must decide if they are worthy to reach out to you. Have they shown that they are ready? Will they accept you at the level you are at now? Or is it too late for them to realize? If this video resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Tell someone you think needs to hear it. Subscribe to this channel and enable alerts so you don't miss more divine messages. Let's continue to share hope, love, and divine guidance together. Also, consider making a large gratitude donation to help our work. Whether your gift is $50, $100 or more, it will enable us to continue spreading these messages around the world. See you in the next video. Thank you.